Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's Friday, which means it's Expressions Vinyl's Vinyl Friday, and we are going to have some fun today. So we've got a fun technique. We've had a few people ask lately if you can do this, and maybe you guys can guess what it is if you've been watching the last few videos. Maybe you know what we're going to do today. I don't know. Maybe. Clue. Where are people tuning into today? What are people working on? We have Joanne behind the camera, and Jessica's back now, commenting and dancing.
Woo, fast pan.
Commenting and dancing.
Wiggling. Alright, so, has anybody commented yet?
Yeah, more people are joining, so
Okay.
give a quick refresh.
Okay, so it's a Vinyl Friday. We are going to show you a fun technique that I feel like it's like a mystery technique. Like, people always want to, like, how do you do that? It's really not that hard. So we're going to show you, but I want to know if people can guess it. So while we're waiting, make sure we've got our vinyl already. Press, where are people from? Maybe, I don't know, maybe people won't guess it. Here's a hint. Just a hint.
I put it in the title, too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You go up and read the title. Okay,
Just
well,
read the title.
we're going to talk about how to do the grunge technique, because you'll see all those cut files that look like they've been, you know, maybe cut or distressed, or I don't know what you'd call it. They look rough, almost like they've cracked. So we're going to show you how to do that today in both Silhouette and Cricut. Mostly Silhouette, but we'll do a little snippet of Cricut because it's really easy to do in Cricut. It's really easy to do in Silhouette too, but I'm going to go a little lengthy on Silhouette. So, alright, so if you look at our monitor, okay, so we are going to finish our little basketball buddies shirt. So you could just cut it like this, that's great, but whenever I think of basketball, for some reason I think of grungy shirts. I don't know why, but I do. So this is what we had originally cut, and it's just plain, easy, you know, whatever. And we're gonna put it on the shirt, but it just looks kind of boring to me. Like, it just looks boring. So we're gonna show you how to put a grunge onto it, and it's super easy. So I've got it all sized and everything ready because I've already cut it out once for the reflective. But we've got a couple different ones we found just to give you an idea. So this one right here, this is actually 4. So if you go to Creative Fabrica, there's one just called Grunge Effect. And Jessica's probably linking those. This one's actually like 4 squares I just welded together because I wanted it to look like one. So I don't know what you'd call these different ones, but this is kind of a overall like scratched up and stuff. These 2 are from Etsy. They're from the same shop. You can get them in a bundle. It's like $3. But this one is pretty drastic as far as you have to think, do I really want to weed out all of that? So keep in mind how you want it to look. This one will be really easy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you this first though. So I will get my wording where I want it, and I will take my grunge image, and these are already SVGs, so you don't have to worry about tracing them or anything. And I'm going to change it to white. This will give me a better idea of what it's going to look like when it's all knocked out. And that's pretty, you can't even see the end. Like, you can kind of move it around. But if you want that look, like, I would just recommend making it bigger, which you'll have an easier time weeding it. It won't be so saturated in certain spots. So it's totally up to you. But I prefer this one. I like the cracked look. Let me go back into that. So same thing. I am just going to change that to white. And there you go. It just gives you a better idea of maybe where you want it placed. You can flip it, size it, whatever you want, because it will look different. It's not even. So just figure out where you want it to be, and then you can go from there. Do you have any questions so far?
No, there was a comment. Someone said you can get grunge fonts as well.
Yes.
But this is kind of a way to customize anything you've got.
Yeah, anything, shapes, fonts, whatever. I mean, there's different ways to do it. But yes, you can get grunge fonts. There's quite a few out there that are cute. But maybe you like this font and you want it to look a little rough. So, side note, what I was gonna do, I'll show you what this one looks like. This one to me was not my favorite, just because it's so spacious. We'll bring it to the front. But I mean, it depends on the look you're going for. Right now it's pretty big compared to the actual wording, but you can make it however you want. Keep in mind, you will have to weed those all out, which that's gonna be harder to weed versus cracked lines. But you can do it. So, what I do want to show you a tip, if you're like, that's a lot of little lines to weed out, I'm going to show you a quick trace tip. So you'll change this back to black. It's already a cut file, but I'm just going to trace it so I can show you how you can edit a bunch of little pieces. Alright, give it a second. Maybe? Here it goes. Okay, so right now it's picking up everything that is traceable is highlighted in yellow. So if this were another image, that's what it would look like. But you can adjust the threshold and it'll make the yellow like larger. It'll kind of find more pieces. But if you go to your despeckle threshold, it will start, let me zoom in so you can kind of see a little better. It will start from the smallest size of little dots, like right here. And it starts taking those away. So if you're like, those are way too small, I don't want that much, just mess with your despeckle threshold and you won't have so much. And then you can just trace that and you've got a little bit of a different grunge look. So that's just a quick tip if you don't want to mess with all that. And it'll change it a little bit, so keep that in mind. But let's go change this to white just so you can see what that did. Change your lines. So it's not as busy, so that'd be a lot easier to weed. But if you can get something that is more overall, you will have an easier time weeding. I mean, I like weeding, but I don't like weeding that much. Okay, so this is all you have to do.
Question, is this on Silhouette or Cricut?
This one is on Silhouette. We will show you how to do it on Cricut though. So,
we have lost connection for us.
Did we lose connection? Can people still?
Can other people still see? It's still showing that
Okay.
my numbers are going up and down.
Okay.
Can you still see it over there?
No, and another lady said, is it frozen for you? And it's frozen for me too. So maybe it's just Facebook. Keep going.
Okay. Alright. If you're stuck or frozen, try refreshing. We'll give you a second here. I'll kind of recap. Okay, so I've put my distressed or my cracked image over my wording. I've changed it to white so I can kind of pinpoint where maybe I want it, because I don't want it to cut off like a tiny little piece up on the end, like right there. I don't really want to mess with like tiny pieces, so I'm gonna look at all of the images, like maybe I don't want that. So just kind of play around with however you want it. Like, no, that's okay. That's fine. There will be some spots you might just not be able to avoid. Okay, so now I'm going to take my box away because I don't want that cut. And this is all you have to do is select both images. Just click and drag over both of them until you see both your boxes. And then over on the left-hand side, you're going to open your modify panel. And you've got all of these different modification options. Crop does not work. That's a little bit different. So you can either use subtract or subtract all. But I like to use subtract all because it goes faster. And it might look like nothing's been done when it does it, but it will. Okay, and it does take a little bit of time for it to do this. Okay, so now I still have this shape. That's why I do subtract all. If I did subtract, it would get rid of that. And now I've got my distress wording. So then you're just gonna go send it to the machine and cut it. All right, so let's go to Cricut. Oh, hello, there's my desktop, like my pretty rainbow desktop. Okay, so we've done the same thing in Cricut. We just imported this SVG, super easy, and changed it to white, and then we've got the font about the same as how I had it laid out in Silhouette. But you're just gonna do the same thing. Just get it where you want it, make it bigger, smaller, rotate it, however you want. Well, that's not gonna work because now it's not the same size. Where'd my rotate go? Okay, we're just gonna, I'm not gonna cut this. This is just solely showing you. All right, so I've got that selected, and I'm gonna select and click and drag over both of them again. And if you go down here, uh-oh, Joanne, what am I doing wrong? Ungroup. I'm still learning this stuff, so this is raw technique here. Okay, so you want this in the front because you want it to kind of slice over all the way to the front.
It's because you went and messed with the letters, so just type it out.
So, okay.
Just ungroup them, and then you'll have to go letter by letter unless you just want to type it back out.
We'll just type it back out. We'll start over. I moved them around and ungrouped them, so it's not quite doing it how it should. But we'll just do hello. It'll be easier. Hello. Okay. So super easy. Bring this to the front. Size it however you want. And select both of them, and then down on the bottom here, you just slice it. And I always forget this in Cricut. I always think I do it wrong, but you've got this piece, which is your original, and then you've got those pieces sliced out, and then you've got that as well. So it's super easy in Cricut. You just have to slice stuff and then pull it away. So easy peasy. Easy peasy. If anybody knows what that also means. Easy peasy. Okay. Okay, so I don't know what Jessica's doing. It looks like she just fell into the fingers.
She's trying to be quiet back there, but
Anyway.
An elephant in a china shop. Sorry.
On the other one, you can also weld the letters, and then it becomes one image, and then you can.
I think Joanne should do a video on this because she knows a lot more about it. I'm just like, slice, we're good. Silhouette, I can show you tips. Cricut, and new. Okay, so hopefully that helps. If you have any questions before we go on.
No.
Okay.
I think.
Have people done this before? Did you know you could do this?
Yeah, how many people give us a thumbs up or a heart if you've done this before, if you've done this type of effect without using a font already, but added a kind of an overlay to it like that?
Your own. It's also kind of falls within the knockout technique. So there's other videos we've done on that. It's the same concept. So I've already got the one cut out, and I'll show you. These are basically the same. This one was just a bigger version of that cracked image, and this one's what you saw. So if you have a lot of little pieces, one of the easiest ways to do this is to do a hot weed. I don't know what you call them. That's what I call it. If you have a heat press, you'll just turn your heat press on, clamp it down for a couple seconds, and it warms up your bed. If you have an easy press, you just do the same concept. You're just warming this up. Adhesive, it's releasing the vinyl from the carrier sheet. So you're not activating anything. And it's just gonna make the weed like butter. All right. Okay, if you can kind of see, I don't know if they can, it's kind of curling a little bit. See how it's like lipped up? It's warming it up. And this will make weeding a lot easier with the distressed look. Check it out. Done. Done. Except there's probably some little pieces in there. Here's the other thing with the grunge technique. If you miss pieces, it's a grunge technique. It doesn't matter. Because I miss pieces all the time. I'm pretty sure I've got several up here.
Someone just asked if you made your shirt.
I did. There's a few star shirts I have that I haven't made, though. If you see me wearing star shirts, I probably made them. So, yeah. So if they're like really, really detailed, don't worry about like getting every single piece because it just adds to it. It's totally fine. So it's pretty easy to get away with. So now let's see what you guys think. So here's the one that we just showed you. It's a little bit smaller as far as the cracks and stuff. And I'm just showing you what the difference between making them larger and smaller is. So this is the original. And this one is the bigger one, which I like them a little bit bigger, but it depends on your preference. So what do you guys think? Smaller or bigger? Thumbs up for small, heart for bigger. I don't know. What do you guys think? The people behind the camera. while we're waiting, we do have a basketball that has that same technique on it. We'll get that pressing while we're waiting for people to...
Looks like a thumbs up is winning so far.
So for the smaller one? Is it the smaller one? Yeah. Pretty sure it's this one. Alright. We will do the smaller one. I just have to make sure that I'm putting my basketball on the right way. It goes this way. So it adds a fun technique to your shirts. I'm not even sure that I'm doing that. Nope, it's supposed to go this way. Alright. So while people are watching.
So you can do with images too, not just the fonts.
Yeah, and this one's a little bit different of a grunge, but just find one that you like. There's so many, there's tons out there on Etsy, there's tons on, like, there's fonts and stuff. Look at the easy press right here. Alright, we're just gonna press this guy on for a couple seconds. And then we'll do the smaller one.
Which effect did you use on the shirt you're doing right now?
This was the cracked one.
Okay, thank you.
There's the other one's called a grunge that's like really, really concentrated with like scratches and stuff. It's a little bit more of a pain to weed. But the cracked I think looks pretty good. Alright. Should I layer it on top? I'm gonna offset it just a little bit. I like doing that with my stuff. Okay. And if you guys haven't tried the reflective HTV, it's like so fun. And it looks silver until you take off that carrier sheet and then it looks gray and then it almost looks more like a shadow. It's super cute. Alright. I'm going a little bit over, but I want to make sure that's down. Okay. Let's test it. Remember with an easy press, you have to give it good pressure. A lot of people forget about that. So I usually have to stand up because I can't press from my chair. And then we're just gonna put that on there. Oh, and I'm missing my net. We gotta finish our shirt for our little, I don't remember what I called him. What's the name of the basketball Jessica did? Brock. This is Brock.
Brock shirts.
Hey, Brock.
I don't know who Brock is.
Alright, and then we're just gonna add our basketball hoop to our little pocket for Brock. Mr. Brock, whoever Brock is. Maybe you guys have a Brock playing basketball. Whatever sport this is. Alright. Okay. Take that guy off. Alright. That's it. So, distress on fonts, distress on images, do whatever you want. And we have our little shirt with our basketball hoop as the pocket. So, hopefully you guys found this interesting. If you missed part of it, you can go back and watch it later if you want kind of a step-by-step.
Are you using a pressing pillow?
Yeah, oh yeah. Use these if you've got, I did that on the pocket because there's such thick seams. Thick seams. So the other part I didn't need because I wasn't hitting it, but on pillows or on pockets, I would recommend a pillow. So anything that's got any bulkiness to it. So Brock is ready for his b-ball game, right? He's got his pocket for his snacks. I don't know.
Can you tell us what vinyl you're using?
Okay, so we use just the black Easyweed, orange Easyweed, white Easyweed, and then our reflective. I don't know if it'll work. Can you kind of see if it? Can you see that it's reflective at all? I can turn.
Not really.
If you shine, like, if you get lighting just on the reflective just right, it's cool looking. Maybe I can show them like this. Here, we'll do this. It's like one of my favorite ones. I don't know if you saw that.
It was faceted, but yeah.
Yeah. Go look at our blog and stuff. We just did some stuff with the reflective, and it's super fun. So, do we have any questions? No?
Where did you find the distress images?
2 of them were from Etsy, from, I can't remember the name of her shop. It's got a funny name, and I can't remember the name, but Jessica's linking.
Yeah, and we're definitely in the title.
So this one was from Etsy, and then the one that was kind of more scattered, not as much distressing, that one was from Creative Fabrica. So, and that's one of my other favorite places to get SVGs. So, and you can make your own too. I mean, if you can just draw an image and just take a picture of it, trace it in, do your own, whatever you want.
What font did you use?
This is called, I can't pronounce it. Jessica's linking it.
Yeah,
It's
got a different name.
Sikande, C-I.
It'll be linked in the comments and the description.
It's a weird name, but it's like one of my favorite fonts too.
And the shirt, where's it from? Probably Target.
Yeah.
Cat and Jack?
Cat and Jack.
Cat and Jack, it's Target.
Yeah, they have the cute little like speckled shirts at Target. They're super soft. So, all right. Hopefully that helped anybody. You can do it Silhouette and Cricut, and it just adds a different look to your vinyl. Some people have used like the ped egg things. I wouldn't do it. It's just easier to do this. I mean, you're basically cheese grating your vinyl, and you might risk ripping it. So it's just easier to do it overlay or whatever you want to call it. Knockout, subtract, grunge it yourself. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you missed it, go back once we post it, and then I'll have all the links for the fonts, the images, and all that good stuff. So, and have a great Friday, and join us on Tuesday. Bye, guys.